for joining us.
Talkline Network Radio, America's longest-running Jewish broadcast network, the voice of the Jewish community.
Welcome to the podcast.
You are now tuned in to this episode of our podcast. Today, we are going to interview some of the greatest and most influential minds in our field. And now, please welcome your host.
You're listening to Talkline with Zev Brenner, America's premier Jewish broadcast on the air since 1981.
And we're back. It's always great to have Jack Ciattarelli with us, former assemblyman in New Jersey. He's running a third time for governor, almost beat Governor Phil Murphy last time around, but there'll be a new opportunity coming up. So welcome back to the program. Thank you for joining us.
Zev, thank you for the opportunity. And I love that introduction, the greatest and most influential minds. I've never been introduced that way.
Well, get used to it. When you get to be governor, that's going to be your opening each time. They go, here now is the governor of New Jersey, one of the most intellectual, right? That's going to be coming up.
There you go. I look forward to coming on every week then.
It'd be great. So I think things are moving and looking a little better for Republicans in New Jersey since Donald Trump. He did much better in the Garden State than people anticipated. That I think should be good for you.
There's a great many of us that know that this is not a deep blue state. New Jersey's always been a purple state, and Trump did perform very well here in 2024, as I did back in 2021. So I'm looking forward to 2025.
No, and I guess you're running now because you got to keep that momentum going, right? And I think what the energy that the Republicans have in New Jersey could keep moving. But let's put it this way: if the economy gets better in the next 6 months, I'm not sure that helps you or hurts you.
No, I think it certainly helps. I mean, that's the kind of relief that people are looking for. We support the president's policies, campaigned for him all throughout New Jersey in 2024, and very happy to see that he won the popular vote. He won the Electoral College. He won the 7 swing states, won the House, won the Senate. No excuses. Let's get it done, and I know he will.
And I think some places like Lakewood, New Jersey, he did very well. He probably carried almost every vote practically, from what I can see.
Well, the Orthodox Jewish community, as you know, Zev, is conservative by nature and has always supported Republicans. But what we saw a lot of is for the Reformed modern Jew, they were voting Republican as well, because a great many Democrats were showing more sympathy for the Palestinians or the terrorists than for the Jewish community in Israel.
No, it's certainly terrible. But one of the things, and that's one of the reasons why I invited you on the program, is that I was shocked to see that New Jersey is scheduling a primary on June 3rd on the Jewish holy day of Shavous. Now, yes, maybe they know Passover, maybe they know Rosh Hashanah, probably know Yom Kippur, but once it got the attention was drawn, saying this is a Jewish holiday and the election is over at 9 o'clock and the holy day is over at 9:14. What's the no-brainer that this should be automatically changed? I know you had to write a letter and they're thinking about it. Well, we're looking into it. What's they looking into? It should be simple, at least from my
It should be very simple. I don't know what Murphy or his Secretary of State were thinking when this happened, but this is not unprecedented to have it on the very next day, the Wednesday. We did that recently for a special election for a congressional seat. So let's get this done. This is simple. We want as many people as possible to participate in our election process, be participants here in our democracy. There's a whole lot of people calling on the governor, including myself, to get this done. Let's get it done. As you said, it's very simple.
You don't be a rocket scientist. You don't be one of the most intellectual minds in order to get this done. But I'm curious, is that when those that make the decisions when to schedule a primary or an election day, don't they look at the calendar and say, is it a Jewish holiday, a Christian holiday, a Hindu holiday, a Muslim holiday? Don't they look at the calendar?
It's just amazing to me. I mean, that is the question everybody's not only asking, but scratching their heads over. So, but there's still time to fix it. Let's get it fixed. We want everyone to participate in our election process. The election process should be as convenient as possible for people to participate. And this is, as we like to say, a no-brainer. Move it to Wednesday, June 4th.
Right. Now, is this the race that you're going to be involved with as well? Is that Republican primary too in that day or just the Democratic primary?
It is. What is currently the June 3rd primary is for both Republicans and Democrats. And of course, we've got a governor's race and all 80 seats in the state legislature. And of course, Board of Education and municipal and county seats. But everything would be moved, in my opinion, should be moved to the very next day. I've written a very strongly worded letter, professional, respectful, but strong, to the governor and to the Assembly Speaker and to the Senate President to, as you said before, let's get this done.
Because let's put it this way, if we're to stay the way it is, and I don't think it will be, I just don't know why it's going to take so much time before they ponder and have committees and say, should we move it? It should be done right away. But if we're to stand, it would hurt people such as yourself, which gets a lot of the Orthodox Jewish vote, which would not vote in any circumstances on a holy day.
Well, but Zev, I appreciate that. But let me be clear. This isn't about me. This is about New Jersey's Jewish community and showing them the respect to observe their holiday as they do, and give them still every opportunity to vote. And that's why we want to move this thing to the very next day.
No, absolutely. And I know that your motives are clear, but the fact is, though, if we're to be held the way it was written right now, June 3rd, it would hurt people such as yourself, hurt Republicans that do very, very well in the Orthodox Jewish community.
Well, it's no secret that I have done very, very well in the community. I've shown them every respect that they deserve, and I've battled anti-Semitism, paid them every respect by visiting their various communities all around the state. Certainly one of the highlights of the last campaign was my trip to Israel, spending a couple days in Jerusalem with religious leaders, a couple days in Tel Aviv with business leaders, and then traveling to Sderot, the city closest to the Gaza Strip, where people are under a threat each and every day, but protected by the dome. And there we met with civic and military leaders. And I'm looking to go back to Israel again sometime in 2025 as a gubernatorial candidate. It's not just about understanding the Jewish people, but also better understanding our relationship, our very special relationship that New Jersey has with Israel, and also increasing our bilateral trade. New York does $14 billion in bilateral trade with Israel. New Jersey doesn't even do $2 billion. As the governor of New Jersey, I want to compete on every level with New York. No reason why we shouldn't.
Absolutely. The more business with Israel, the better. So I know you're doing a lot of outreach, different communities. So what does your Jewish outreach look like with Hanukkah coming, other holy days coming? What does it look for you?
First, let me say I'm very proud to have as a member of my inner circle, if you will, or senior advisement team as a rabbi, Rabbi Avi Richler. And Avi is instrumental in letting me know and suggesting where I should be and when. We know we have a very large Jewish community in places like Teaneck, Linden, Roselle Park, Jackson, Toms River, Lakewood, and other communities all around the state. So
we got Englewood.
As the holidays approach, I look forward to spending time in those communities.
Well, I think I may have asked you last time. I always love asking candidates and elected officials when they appear on this program. The toughest question is when you go to a Jewish event, what's your favorite Jewish food?
All the above, Zev. All the above.
I love asking that question. I get some very interesting responses, and maybe I should write a book about different dishes. You'd be very surprised at what people want. I think Governor Pataki liked stuffed cabbage, chalbuches, if I remember correctly. But there's always some interesting intrigue. But certainly, the Jewish community is going to play a very pivotal role in this election. And I'm glad to see that the outreach, and I have to make sure that the Shavous holiday will be respected. I know that you wrote it very strong. It was respectful, but the fact is, though, it should not have even been done in the first place. And
well, I do appreciate you calling to all those that view your podcast, calling their attention how strong I feel about this and the letter that I did send. And I really do believe that the public pressure has already gotten to the governor, because he said, you know what, let's do this. Let's move the date.
Let's move it. Let's get things moving. Anyway, I want to thank you, and we hope you continue to join our program, because I think it's important to have your voice out there. I know that it's going to be very competitive, and it starts earlier and earlier from what I can see. So it's not just some races could be a few months beforehand. When did you start running again? How long ago?
Well, I declared in April. As I always like to say, New Jersey is the largest small state in the country. North, Central, South, Jersey Shore, 564 towns, 21 counties, the most diverse state in the country. And there's power and beauty in that diversity if we embrace it. And that's one thing I try to do each and every day with my travels all up and down the state. But I do very much enjoy every one of my visits into our Jewish communities all around the state.
Good. And for Hanukkah, you got to try the latkes, the potato pancakes. Those are excellent. So I think you'll enjoy it. Anyway, thank you for joining us, and let's see if we can get this primary moved. That's, I think, a top priority. So thank you for being here with us. Jack Ciattarelli, running for governor on the Republican line in New Jersey.
Thank you for tuning in to
Talkline with Zev Brenner, America's premier Jewish broadcast, the pulse beat of the Jewish community.
For continuous Jewish programs, TalklineNetwork.com, or our 24-hour-a-day listen line at 641-741-0389. For past shows, you can find us on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, Instagram, and all major podcast platforms, or jewishpodcast.org. Thanks for listening to the TalklineNetwork.com.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Anyway, thank you. You froze for a second, so I covered for you, but
Oh, great.